Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio. So when do you know that it's too much? You've gone to a workout, maybe you're new to it, or maybe you've been doing it for a while, and all of a sudden you've got this sensation going through your body. Is it discomfort? Is it pain? Is it too much? Should you work through it? Should you not? Those are always big and important questions to ask, because you definitely don't want to cause further injury if it is an actual injury, and you do want to make sure that you continue working if it's just kind of that soreness that comes with workouts, because you'll be able to work through it a little bit better. So let's kind of talk through the differences here. So discomfort typically comes from your delayed onset muscle soreness, or your DOMS, where you end up getting sore after a workout. How long should you expect to be sore for? Well, a typical workout, obviously I'm speaking from our experience of what we give, everybody's a little bit different, but typically you shouldn't be too sore after about the third, sometimes the fourth day. If you were doing an extreme amount and you were brand new to it, hadn't done anything recently, you might feel some soreness through that fourth day. But really it's that second day that'll get you. So the first day after your workout, you usually feel pretty good. You're walking around saying, yeah, I did this workout and I feel great. And it's the next day that all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't move. So that's why it's so important to keep working out throughout the week. I'm gonna make sure and work that soreness out. I'm going to be sure and continue building on the strength and continue building those muscles, as well as burning fat and all those kinds of good things. So you've got that soreness factor, and if it's been a couple of days and you're feeling pretty sore, I would expect that. By day 3, it should be letting up pretty good. Obviously, you should probably have worked out by that point. And by day 4, if you're still sore at day 4, we've got something else that might be going on. Maybe we've got some, maybe you worked a little too deep into those muscles. Maybe we've got some strains or sprains or anything like that going on. There's a lot of different things that could happen, a lot of possibilities. So how do you know that it's absolutely too much? Well, if you've got swelling, definitely a problem. If you've got any fever in the area, definitely a problem. Those would be areas that we would need to kind of jump down to the last portion of what we're going to talk about today. But for just the physical sensation, you're like, I don't know, I feel kind of puffy. It's not really swollen, but I feel different than what I normally do. Maybe I'm lacking range of motion. I can't tell if I'm sore or stiff or what's going on. So what would we do? Well, first of all, we're going to treat the area. So we're going to treat it either by using ice, and we want to make sure there's something between your ice and the skin so you don't get frostbitten or anything like that. About 20 minutes of ice, and then let it rest for about 20 minutes without the ice to come back to skin temperature, and then you could do it again. And you can do that off and on throughout the day, 3 to 5 times, and kind of see how that feels. With the ice on, obviously numbs the pain, it reduces inflammation, it should help it to feel a little bit better. So that would be for an issue where you might feel like maybe there's some tension within that body part that kind of feels more like a fluid retention type of thing, or more like a swelling. That ice would be really helpful. So what if you just feel super sore? Well, the treatment on that side would maybe be like an Epsom salt bath, where you run water as hot as you're comfortable with. You obviously don't want to get burned, so just as hot as you're comfortable with. Put a couple cups of Epsom salt in there and then soak for about 20 minutes, and then get out and do some stretching. So that would be a good treatment for just some sore muscles, and that would help you to overcome some of that DOMS, because the magnesium from the Epsom salt is going to go in and help to revitalize the muscles. So that would be step 1. So you've got an issue. Step 1 is to treat that issue. Go ahead and check it out, see what's going on. Should you work out during it? Well, it kind of depends on you. If you feel like, it's just soreness and you need to work through it, you could try a workout. But if you start to notice anything beyond discomfort during that workout, then we need to stop. So definitely don't want to push through an injury and cause bigger injury. So second step would be rest. Everybody hates that word, right? We're Americans. We have things to do. We're too busy to rest. So, this would be a great time to take maybe a day or 2 off. Maybe change up your workout focus. Maybe if it's your leg that's bothering you, we do just upper body and core that day. Maybe if it's your arm that's bothering you, we again focus on core, maybe legs that day. Something to where we take the focus out of that area that's hurt. We don't allow it to do anything. We give it some rest. Day or 2, you should be able to feel some difference to know whether the rest protocol is working for you, and if it is, continue it if you need to. If it's not, then we go on to different things. So changing that workout focus kind of takes the definition of rest and changes it up for some people. So some people think rest, they think, lay in bed, do nothing. And rest can be complete rest, don't do anything. Depends on, obviously, the severity of what's going on. But it can be as little as just changing the workout focus or modifying the workout to where maybe instead of doing your full workout, you just go for a walk. Or maybe instead of doing your squats and lunges, you change that up to a different exercise. or maybe instead of doing a cardio-based workout, you go into more of a core toning workout. There's a lot of different options on how you can switch that up, and that's where a trained professional can really be of help to you, especially through times like that, because not only are they able to say, yes, this is a good time to work out, or no, you really shouldn't work out through that, but then they can also say, you know what, you can work out, but let's modify this and change this up, and here's a great workout that's going to be effective and efficient, and you're going to feel great, but it's going to become something to where we can let that part rest. So definitely some things to do. So first step is treat, second step is rest or modify, and the third step would be if you don't have any change after a few days of that, you know, up to a week of it, you don't feel like it's changing, you don't feel like it's getting better, maybe it's staying the same or it's getting worse, that would be the time that you need to look into going for help for sure. Now you could go for help earlier on if you wanted to, there's no harm in that, but you might be doing extra steps for no reason. You may have a doctor that looks at you and says, you know, you're just sore. It's okay. So we're okay with a little bit of discomfort. Pain is not okay. That's not something to work through. You really can end up hurting yourself long term, not just in the moment, but it could go on for years. It could become a chronic injury. So definitely want to get that taken care of. So who should you go to? Well, as always, depends on what the situation is. But some of the people that I like to utilize myself, or for people who are going through that, maybe a massage, a good massage therapist, perhaps a chiropractor, depending on what the pain is, what's going on. A physician, always definitely a good fit there. And sometimes even a physical therapist, if you happen to know one. They're definitely good to be able to evaluate and see, you know, what kind of injury is this, what's going on here, so that they can really help you to figure out which doctor is the best to go to if that's the route that you need to take. So definitely want to take that into account the next time that you're going through a pretty heavy workout or a new workout. Kind of listen to your body, pay attention to it, make sure that, you know, the discomfort that you're feeling is just discomfort. There's just muscle soreness. It's no big deal. It's going to work itself out, all those kinds of good things. If it starts to have some fever, some swelling, or you start to notice kind of that debilitating soreness where you can't move for a week and a half, then we may have something more serious going on. Definitely want to get that checked out. So I would love to be able to help you out, but you have to try us out first. So next week is your opportunity. Next week is Bring a Friend Week. We would love for you to come. If you don't have a friend who's already here, feel free to come in and tell them that Chris sent you. They'll welcome you with open arms. All we need is a little bit of contact information from you, and we'll set you up with an account for the week. You'll get a week-long pass. You can come to as many small group training sessions as you'd like. If you want to try out a private training session, again, just let them know that Chris said you could, and we'll get you in and make sure that you can try that out as well. But bring a friend with you. Come in. You know, it's always better to come in pairs or groups, so bring in some friends and come try us out and see what you think. Feel free to give us a comment below if you want to come. Talk to you soon.